I'm 50 years old, right? So people were like, oh, you're 50 and you're not going to get a job. And my confidence was impacted. But every time, it was a game of convincing people that how does healing work? How does, how does it combine and work at a scientific level, right? I have completed my practitioner's journey with both of them, right? And I have, I have been into Reiki, crystal healing and a lot of modalities from the last, I would say more than 12 years. And I do work with, a lot of clients one-to-one, but every time, it was a game of convincing people that how does healing work? How does, how does it combine and work at a scientific level, right? And when I met Dr. Amay and Pankaj, I myself in my life, I was going through, I don't know if you've heard, but I can actually say that I was going through the dark night of soul, right? I lost my job, and it was not easy because, I was not expecting it to happen to me. And that's where I think, that was the time when they came into my life. Honestly speaking, I think the biggest support that neuroquantum chakra healing offers you is that it combines all the modalities together, and it works, at a mind, body, and a soul level. And through this modality, I can provide you testimonials I've shared with, them. I have healed psoriasis cases by 95%. I have healed. I've been working, with a corporate senior leadership professional who's been suffering from high-end diabetes for 2 years. She was hospitalized, and her diabetes was not coming into control thanks to, the healings and the learnings that I've had from them, and with combined with other metaphysical healings. And right now I'm working with a client, and he's a Parkinson client, right? So at a mental level, he was so demotivated that he just had given up on life. And today I'm at a stage where he's asking me to mentor his daughter. So it's not only, with chronic cases, but also, at different levels where this healing definitely helps. The learning is immense, and in the process of doing so, you also heal yourself. Like I'm a life example. I was very depressed. I'm the only daughter, and supporting my parents, obviously married, and it was not easy. And with the economic conditions, it kind of hit me very hard, right? And I'm 50 years old, right? So people were like, oh, you're 50 and you're not going to get a job, and my confidence was impacted. When I became a student, right, when I became a practitioner, I started applying because one fine day when I was at my lowest, I just decided that I'm not going to listen to the noise outside, and I started applying those principles on my own self. I worked diligently on healing my inner child, and within 6 months, I found a job which not only met what I wanted, right, but it also paid me much higher than what I could have ever thought about sitting on at home, right, for 7 to 8 months. But what it did to me as a person, today I don't operate out of fear.